Psalm 149. So we've made it almost one more psalm to go. And by this time in the book of Psalms, we're building towards the climax. And so this psalm is really like a victory dance between God and his people, this mutual song of victory sung over one another. God, the God who delights in his people and the people who rejoice in their God, their King. So let's read Psalm 149. Praise the Lord. Sing to the Lord a new song, his praise in the assembly of his faithful people. Let Israel rejoice in their Maker. Let the people of Zion be glad in their King. Let them praise his name with dancing and make music to him with tambourine and harp. For the Lord takes delight in his people. He crowns the humble with victory. Let his faithful people rejoice in this honor and sing for joy in their beds. May the praise of God be in their mouths and a double-edged sword in their hands, to inflict vengeance on the nations and punishment on the peoples, to bind their kings with fetters, their nobles with shackles of iron, to carry out the sentence written against them. This is the glory of all his faithful people. Praise the Lord. So there are some difficult verses there at the end, but really the whole psalm is oriented towards this song of praise, this song of victory to their God and King, and the victory that it's sort of a victory they're waiting for, hoping for, but it feels like it's getting closer. And the only fitting response, says the psalmist in verse 1, is to sing the Lord a new song. Why? Why a new song? What do they mean, a new song? Well, the way I understand it is it's simply a recognition that we worship a living God. And we worship a living God who is always doing new stuff in our lives around us. And so to me, it's an invitation to call to mind, to be alert to the new stuff God's doing. What's a new song that you could sing to God for the ways he's been at work in your life, in your heart, around you recently this week? Maybe you want to take some time to just maybe sing, maybe pour out in gratitude and praise for the new things that he's been doing in your life. For the psalmist, they want to praise and rejoice in God as maker, verse 2. Rejoicing in God as maker. I wonder, is there a new song you want to sing to God as maker? And God as not only maker, creator, but sustainer and redeemer, where have you seen his creative, his sustaining, his redeeming hand at work in your life, maybe healing things, restoring things, reconciling things? They want to praise and rejoice in God as King as well. I wonder, what is a new song that you can sing to God as King? A new song about his kingship coming in your life. Where have you seen his kingdom coming? And it's a king who wants to bring victory. I'm struck by, in verse 4, for the Lord takes delight in his people. He crowns the humble with victory. My imagination was captured by that word victory. It makes me wonder, what is that victory? What does that victory look like? The victory of God as King. Well, for the Israelites, I guess it was a victory that was sort of maybe seemed far off, but for us, we know it's come in Jesus on the cross. He's won a victory for us. I wonder, is there a song you want to sing about the victory that God has won in Jesus on the cross for you? Where are the effects of the cross that you've seen in your life recently? The way he's reconciled you to him, the way maybe he's reconciled you to other people, the way maybe he's healed things in your life, the way you've seen him restoring things, the way you've seen him bringing peace, bringing hope, bringing light, bringing joy. Is there a new song you want to sing to God as the one who brings victory, the one who's brought victory on the cross? But also, to me, it's an invitation to think, actually, where do I want to see the victory of the cross in my life? And what would that look like? It's interesting that the victory that God wins is for the humble. He crowns the humble with victory. And I'm challenged to ask myself the question, do I have a humility that makes me one of those people that is ready to receive the victory that God has won for me on the cross? Is there a humility to my life that makes me open and hungry and yearning for his love, his care, his joy, his hope? Or actually, am I all sorted? And then what about the wider world, praying for the wider world? Well, verses 6 to 9 is some quite difficult verses actually to understand what's going on there. But I think firstly we need to remember that this is a psalm sung by an oppressed people, not a superpower, an oppressed people. But we also need to remember that the victory that Jesus won, he won through peace, not through violence. But what's helpful here, I think, is that sense of pleading for the overthrow of all that is evil. And so I want to join the psalmist in praying for God to, I guess, the effects of the cross to fully work themselves out in the world around me, to pray for his light to dispel the darkness, to pray out all the spiritual forces of evil that I see around me in the community, in society, in culture, in my life, and to pray God's light in, that we see darkness dispelled and the light advancing. So there you go. It's this victory dance, this victory song. You might want to get your dance on as well as you're singing it, as you're praying it. Go for it. But God bless, and have a good reading to pray. Take care.